Sup? This is Greggatron. How's everybody doing? I'm doing just fine, thank you. So, last night I was minding my own business being peaceful. And out of nowhere I get a text message from this number with my area code. I'm like, what's this? Well, it was this woman who had said, hey, my name is so-and-so. I'm a photographer for this modeling company. And I was referred by a client. And this person wants you to be in a photo shoot. I was like, what? I'm like, this isn't real. I'm like, wait a minute. But it is the same area code. So I was like, sure. So then she texts me back, okay, this is my business card, and I'll be in touch, something like that. So I open up the business card. It was a link, and I'm going through this website. It's got her portfolio and all these things. I was like, wait a minute. I said, I recognize some of these people. So this might actually be legit, right? I'm like, well, that's cool. So we chatted a little bit more, and she asked me, when's my off day? And I said, I'm only off on the weekends, but even then, sometimes I work on the weekend, right? And she's like, all right, well, can we get together this weekend? I was like, sure. Cool. So that's the plan, right? Well, this morning, I texted my friend who she had said recommended her to me. I was like, hey. And she's like, what up? And I was like, did you recommend me to a photographer? And she's like, yeah. She said she had asked if I known any tone guys. And you were the first person I thought of. She said, I was like, well, that's cool. So she thought of tone guys, and yours truly was the first person she thought of. I'm like, well, that's interesting. Well, then she went on to say, we might work together. I'm like, right on. Very cool. Very cool. So I don't know how this is going to go. It might go very well. We'll see. You know how these things work. Have a wait and see attitude about it. But it's pretty exciting stuff. I'm not going to lie. Because I always kind of wanted to get into like acting a little bit and film. I remember when I was younger, me and my brothers, we always wanted to be like an extra in a superhero movie. Speaking of superhero movies, you like the background? And I do remember always wanting to look like a superhero, right? When I was at my buddy's house about 5 years ago, one of his friends had came over. And his friend was like, yo. I was like, what? He's like, you look like you could star. He said, you look like you could play in the Avengers, man. I was like, whoa, thanks, man. Appreciate that. And then fast forward, I went to a sports store. And this guy, he was an employee. He's like, hey, buddy. You look all trapped out, man. You're all trapped out. I was like, thanks, man. I appreciate that. That's cool. And then sometimes I'll go to the grocery store and an old person will say, did you used to play football in college, buddy? I'm like, nah, but it's a good conversation starter. So I have conversations with people just off of that type of stuff. My point is, I always wanted to be fit and strong, and I always wanted to look like a superhero. Can't you tell? But now it's like, this is my little opportunity. One time I was at the mall, this was like a year ago, and some random guy came up to me, he's like, hey, I'm a director for independent movies, and mostly like black movies, he said. And he said, I want you to look into it. You could definitely act. And I was like, huh. Well, here's the catch. He said, are you on Facebook? I told him, no, I'm not on Facebook. He's like, oh, man. Well, here's my business card, he said. If you're interested, look me up. This is me. I was like, all right, cool. Well, now fast forward to today. Here we are. Photographer is reaching out to me. So I'm like, this is cool. This is cool. I was on YouTube yesterday and I saw this trailer it's for a movie called Magazine Dream. It's about this guy who Jonathan Majors plays, who his goal is to be a bodybuilder, the best bodybuilder ever, right? I'm like, this looks so good. Because most of these movies are about like football or basketball or MMA or, dancing, something like that. Even like cheerleading, that type of thing. Baseball. But I'm like, a bodybuilding movie, that's cool. And Michael Hearn is featured in it. They show in the trailer Jonathan Majors is looking at videos and pictures of like Dorian Yates, Michael Hearn, and other people who I look up to too. So I'm like, wow, this is cool. This looks really good. And then there was a interview he and the actors did, and he's talking about he's 6 feet tall. I'm 6 feet tall. This guy is 202 pounds or something like that, whereas me, I'm 215 or 16. So I'm like, me and Jonathan Majors, we're actually close to the same size, and we're the same age, almost. He's a couple years older. I'm like, wow, this movie is right up my alley, because I've been a fan of Jonathan Majors ever since Creed Part 3. So I'm already a fan. They're making a movie about bodybuilding. I'm into that. So this movie is right up my alley, and it does look good. Because it shows the process of what this man has to go through, this journey of being just a normal guy to being the best. I like movies like that, like Rocky. Rocky was just this normal guy. There was nothing special about him besides his willpower and his heart. I love movies like that. But yeah, what do y'all think about this? Do you think it'll lead to something? It's possible. And I'm not even going to ask for money, because you know how these things work, especially if it's just a local business. If she doesn't have, I'm sure she'll give me something, but I'm not going to make it about the money. It's about establishing relationships. That's what life is about, period. Establishing relationships. And if I do well, one thing could lead to another. That means she could put me onto another person. That person could put me onto somebody else. Different agencies. But if you do well, they'll pay you, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? The opportunity is out there. But yeah, I think that's pretty cool stuff. So, before I go, and I'll keep you guys posted, I got some shout outs. Alright. I even wrote it down. Lord Baby 42, shout out to you. I saw you earlier. It was good to see you in the chat. Welcome back. Terry Strange, the good woman, aka Snow White. Always good to see you. Sweet Amy. I call her Sweet Amy, but I guess she goes by Amy. But for those who don't know, that's Sweet Amy. She's always nice. Lin Yen Chin, that's the guy. So Lin Yen Chin says a lot of fascinating things. Lin Yen Chin says things that'll make you rethink what it is you're doing. And he critiques me in the gym. He's like, hey, imagine yourself doing it this way. If you do it this way, you might produce that out of this. Try it, he says. I was like, I might give that a try. That makes some sense. But yeah, always good to see you in the comments section and in different people's chats. Final Frontier, that's the guy. Shout out to you. Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze. I got him right there. Johnny Blaze. The Zealots Den, it was good to see you in the chat. You were in my chat when I was in my workout video the other day. Making gains. Yeah. Thanks for dropping by. G4 Leader, my big bro. That dude got me started on YouTube. I was like, man, I can do this too. This is cool. We've been on YouTube, me and you, since like 2008. Or maybe you were on before that even. But shout out to G4 Leader. That's the dude. Joel Friday TV, that's my guy. Always has some good spiritual insight and some good relationship input. He's good when it comes to relationships. I'll give him that. He's good. Check Joel Friday TV out. The Hake Report, that's where I get a lot of my news from. He's the one who says, guys, it's not right. It's not right. He's good. Nick's Dream, a.k.a. the American Anchor Baby, shout out. Shout out to the whole Bond Network in general. That includes Jesse Lee Peterson and Hassan. You can't forget about Hassan. My homie Don and his wife. I gotta shout out the good wife too. Because if I don't, Don will say, hey man, my wife was listening. She didn't get a shout out. So shout out to you, Don, and your wife, Mrs. Don. Yeah. Next, Latin A and Callie, that's my girl. So she's extremely funny, and she always has very kind words. Very kind words in the comment section. And a lot of times in different people's channels, whether it be Terry Strange or somebody else, she sounds really sarcastic, and she'll start singing out of nowhere. She's real funny. She's hilarious. But most of all, she's a sweetheart, always giving nice things to say. So Latin and Callie, shout out to you. Tar Baby Yoda, he's a trip. He's something. I think it was either in the chat or one of my comments in the video. He was commenting on my video. He's like, hey man, where's my shout out? What about me? I was like, all right. So shout out to you, Tar Baby Yoda. There you go, buddy. Jay Hollow, a.k.a. Jay Martinez. You're one of my oldest subscribers that I can remember. You've been around for like 15, 16, 17 years watching Greggatron. So, I appreciate your support. He Black, he's cool. CSAL, always good to hear from you, CSAL. Adriana Flowers with a lovely voice. CSAL and Adriana both have very nice voices. So shout out to you guys. D Rhino 419. Shout out to you and your content. Limit Breaker Joseph. That's my gym buddy. I really liked his channel when I saw those push-up videos. I was like, who the heck is this guy? He inspired me to hit some more chest. And we had a good conversation the other day in my chat. I was doing a live feed. I think it was back and legs. But that video was only supposed to be like an hour, hour and a half. But towards the end, Limit Breaker Joseph asked me a question. And that led to another half an hour of us talking about Dragon Ball Z. So that was cool. I can talk about Dragon Ball Z all day. So shout out to Limit Breaker Joseph. Blue X-Ray 731 for your Marvel Select figures and other content. Those are always great. End of Face for your video game content. especially Ghost of Tsushima. That's always good. He really put me onto some stuff. DJONPAW, you're great. Chat Tard and Chris. So shout out to all you guys. You guys keep me going. It's cool. And did y'all know I have over 1 million video views? 1 million views on Greggatron's channel, whether it be through the Steve Wilkos videos, my workout videos, my rant and rave videos, or the ones of me ranting while I'm driving, my Bond videos, my toy reviews. I'm always reviewing some type of figure, my sword reviews, comic book reviews. I talk about a lot of different stuff. News stories, those are fun. Statues, life, life experience. I talk about all kind of stuff. That's why I like my channel, because I keep it random. It's just about Greg. But oh yeah, and don't forget, did I say movie reviews? Yeah. DVDs, video games, anime, rap CDs, 90s cartoons. I talked about some stuff over these years. But yeah, man, again, I'll keep you guys posted. If I see her on Saturday, the photographer that is, I'll probably definitely let you know by Sunday or Monday. But you'll probably hear from me before that. But if I didn't give anybody a shout out who wanted one, it's nothing personal. I can't remember everybody. That's why I had to write this list down in the first place. So if you didn't get a shout out, hit me up in the comments section. I'll give you a shout out, I promise. But yeah, I will keep you posted. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. And there's people who tell me, hey, you inspire me in the gym. I'm like, wow, that's so cool. So if I can inspire one person, just one, I'm okay with that. Thanks for watching.